Your daughter can't be in the games, teams are already set, my mother said, looking past me. I paid for tents, medals, and water. 2 days later, I crossed my last name out of everything they called family. It all started with a paper sign on the refrigerator. I arrived with Emma on Friday afternoon. I put a pot of chicken soup on the stove, put Whole Foods food into boxes, washed fruit, bottled water for tomorrow's family sports day. All the usual. At my parents' house, I've long been more kitchen tool than guest. While Emma unpacked her backpack in the guest room, I went into the kitchen to get napkins. There was a list hanging on the refrigerator. The title was Team's Final Version Do Not Change. Printed names. Colored markers. Logos on t-shirts. Dates of birth. I read it twice. Emma's name was nowhere to be found. Mom, there's no Emma on the list, I said calmly, like it was just a logistical question. Oh honey. Mom didn't turn around, continuing to crumble an egg for the potato salad. The teams were finalized last weekend. You didn't confirm early enough. It's just too complicated to reshuffle now. I texted you on Monday. You said, sounds great, we'll find a spot. Right, she sighed. But then your brother wanted Logan and Eli on separate teams, and you know how hard that gets. I assumed Emma wouldn't mind sitting this one out. She's new to all this anyway. Emma's my daughter. 11 years old. Quiet, withdrawn. First time at this event. New to this anyway. Just like a guest at her own family funeral. I didn't argue. I just went to the garage where the boxes of t-shirts were stored. It was in perfect order. All signed in marker. Team Blue Logan. Team Red Eli. Referee shirts Uncle Tom. Not a single extra one. I opened the bag of spare baseball caps. Just in case. It was also labeled, staff only. Dad came by later while I was cutting watermelons. We appreciate you bringing all the food again this year. Really helps. Not a problem. Who's Emma with tomorrow? Well, he scratched his chin. The teams are full. We can't really start making exceptions. It's chaos every time we do. We want it to be fair, right? Fair. Fair. On Amazon, I paid for marquee rentals and sound equipment. On Zelle, I wired my mom $320 for pre-event stuff. Badges and plastic medals came to my address. Not everyone played at fairness. Only those who didn't pay. In the evening, I went to the backyard. The kids were already practicing. Flags, plastic balls, baskets with numbers. My brother David was calling the shots like a coach. Eli, you're the lead. Logan, back off. Let the girls do the relay. Emma was standing on the sidelines by the fence with a bottle of water in her hand. No one called her name. I walked over. Hey, doing okay? I asked Uncle David if I could be on a team. He said, there's no more shirts, sweetheart. And then he said I could help hand out snacks instead. Like a volunteer. There was no anger or complaint in her voice. Just aloofness. Like it had happened to her before. Not the first time. Later at the table, Mom showed her the new sign. Game schedule, colored stickers, categories. You know, Clara, if you had just told us earlier about Emma, we could have planned something. I nodded. Didn't say I'd written about it earlier in the month. Didn't say I was the one who opened the document called Sports Day under 2025-1. Didn't argue. I just memorized it. That was it. The next morning, my mom handed out bags of t-shirts to everyone. I checked again. Not one with Emma's name on it. Not even an empty one. Clara, can you help pass these out? She said without looking. The labels are on the tags. I passed the packages to David's children, nephews, unfamiliar friends of David's wife. Everyone got one. Some got 2 t-shirts each, a spare. In case of injury. What about Emma? I asked quietly. We didn't print extras this year. Tight budget. You know how it is. I did. I saw the check from Custom Ink. Paid for with my card. Dad came by later with a folder. Can you review the waiver forms before the games? You're always so organized with this stuff. Parent forms. Signatures. Age. Medical allergy notices. I signed mine. Emma doesn't need one? I asked. Technically, she's not on a team, he replied, with a smile like it was a successful legal trick. At lunchtime, Emma sat by the bushes with a clipboard. I brought her a sandwich and carrot sticks. You can still enjoy the games, I said. I know. I'm not mad. I'm just Invisible. She didn't make eye contact. She just chewed. In a house where every child is a project, a role, a participant. She wasn't. Just an observer. In the evening, photos of the preparations appeared in the family WhatsApp chat. Logan with the ball, Eli with the medals, David's wife in a referee's suit. I scrolled up. Not one mention of Emma. Not a single tag. Not a single welcome Emma. I wrote, "Is Emma in any photos?" No one replied. An hour later the message was gone. Deleted for everyone. Before I went to bed, I put the receipts in a folder. The bill from Costco is mine. The field rental through Parks and Rec my card. Stickers and markers Amazon my account. The refrigerator in the garage full of drinks I brought in my car. There were new balls in the closet, in a bag labeled Property of Family Games. I'd bought them last summer. They didn't ask for them then either. The house was quiet at night. I went down to the kitchen for water. The light over the stove was on. Mom was sitting at her laptop, writing something on a spreadsheet. Couldn't sleep? I asked. Just trying to make sure everything goes smoothly tomorrow. She closed Excel. I saw the line. Emma not participating. Just like in the system. Like a list where you're either on the team or you're nowhere. In the morning I made toast, put out berries, made coffee. All the kids from the morning were trying on t-shirts, running around showing off their numbers. Emma was quiet. I gave her sunscreen and told her it was okay to stay at my place. She nodded. And she asked, "Why am I not part of this?" I couldn't find anything to say. At 9:15 the assembly began. Mom wrote down arrival times for the teams. Dad brought out the balls. I was asked to upload a music playlist to the speaker. "Clara, you always do the tech stuff." I downloaded it. I set it to play. I stepped aside. Emma was standing next to me. No uniform. No role. Just an observer at the party her mother had paid for. And I knew they'd planned it all in advance. Without her. They just didn't think I'd notice. After breakfast we went out on the porch. Emma sat on the step, pulling on her sneakers. I handed her a bottle of water. A neighbor, Mrs. Rose, waved us across the street. "Big day, huh? You girls ready?" I smiled at her. Then I looked at Emma. She didn't answer. The house was already buzzing. Someone couldn't find their hat. Someone had forgotten their schedule sheet. I was called. "Clara, where's the cooler with drinks?" I pointed to the garage. "You sure you packed the right one?" I didn't answer. Daddy asked again. "We're counting on you to set up the scoreboard. Like always." I nodded. And inside I thought, nobody asks me if I want to. And that was the first time I'd ever let myself hear that thought out loud. The morning started with a box I forgot to take out. It was big, white with the Uline logo on it. There were cones, station name plates, kids' medals, and another speaker in case the main one broke. I bought this in April. No one asked for it. But in my family, the little things were always on me. "Clara, we need the orange cones," David called out from the lawn. "Where do you put them?" I said in the garage, even though I had them in my hands at the time. As everyone began to gather at the starting arch, Mom came up with the sheet in her hands. "Can you check this timeline? You're the only one who understands how this flows." I took the sheet. All the handwriting is hers. But the signature at the bottom is Event Director Diane. "You're the event director now?" I asked. "It's just a name," Mom shrugged. "You do the real work. I just help coordinate." She paused. "You know how it looks, right?" She sighed. "Clara, don't make a scene. It's just a fun day." At 10:30 Dad came out. With a baseball cap and a megaphone. "Let's go, team captains. Gather your squads. The teams are lined up. All in colored t-shirts." Emma was standing next to me. In her own clothes. No color, no team. "Can I stand with them anyway? Just, for fun?" "Of course," I said. She took a step forward. And stopped. Uncle David said I shouldn't confuse the teams. She walked back. Sat down on the grass. By 11 o'clock, everyone was busy. I stood at the water stand. David came over. "Hey, Mom said you're doing the obstacle race now. Jeff can't stay. You good?" "No." "What?" I said no. He froze. "Clara, come on. You always help. This isn't the time." "I'm not available." "He's gone." Silently. No comment. A minute later, I saw him discussing it with my mom. She looked at me. Smiled. A strained one. During playtime I stayed by the bench. Emma was coloring a plastic cup with a marker. Dad walked by. You're not joining anything today? No. You okay? I'm fine. You don't look fine. I looked at him. Maybe because I'm not part of it. He nodded and walked away. After the finals, there was an award ceremony. Everyone clapped. Mom handed out certificates. Dad held up the list of winners. David took pictures. In one picture I saw all the kids in a line. Except for Emma. I showed Mom the picture. Did you notice something? She shrugged. It's just a photo, Clara. When everyone went to the food tables, I went to the speaker. Opened the playlist. Erased it. Clara, what are you doing? Mom called out. Just changing the vibe. I turned off the music. I left the playground. In the parking lot, I met David's wife. Emma's so quiet. I barely noticed her. That's the point, I said. She laughed like it was a joke. Oh, Clara, always with the dry humor. Inside the house at the kitchen counter, Mom was counting change. Can you Venmo me the other half for the shirts? You said you'd cover all the logistics. I didn't approve those charges. It's just $180. Don't be dramatic. Don't send me invoices for things you didn't discuss. She pouted. Clara, we've done this together for years. Don't turn everything into a transaction. You already did. In the backyard, I saw David giving a medal to his son. Best Effort Award. You earned it, buddy. Emma was looking away. I walked over. You okay? I didn't try. So I didn't earn anything. She said it without offense. Just a fact. That evening, David came over with his phone. We're putting together a shared folder with all the pictures. Can you upload yours? I didn't take any. He frowned. None. There was nothing I wanted to keep. He didn't say anything. He went back to his room. Later, Mom came by again. Clara, whatever this is, can we not ruin the family energy? I'm not ruining anything. I'm just not pretending. Pretending what? That this is for everyone. She straightened up. You need to let go of whatever resentment you're holding. This is just one day. I looked at her. No. It's every year. I just stopped smiling through it. She walked away. Didn't say, I understand. Didn't say sorry. Just turned away. Like the lists, like the t-shirts. Just not included. When the shared FaceTime call from Aunt Linda in Texas rang, Mom said loudly, let's get the whole family on. Clara, bring Emma. I didn't go. Neither did Emma. Back at the house, Dad was explaining to someone how they were holding it all together like a real family. I walked by, he looked at me. You used to be more involved. You used to ask first. Later, I saw a box of Best Family Team 2025 stickers in the pantry. I remembered. I placed the order. But they didn't even mention it at the awards dinner. After dinner, David made a suggestion. Maybe next year we could rotate roles. One person does logistics, another media, someone else finances. Like a fair split. Sounds great, I said. Start now. He stopped talking. Mom stepped in. Clara, don't punish everyone just because you're upset. I'm not upset. I'm done. Toward evening, Mom came out with a request. Can you help clean the grill before you leave? No. Just a quick thing. I said no. I gathered my bags, put away the leftovers I'd brought. Mom gave me a reproachful look. You're taking all of it? I brought it. That's not the point. For once it is. Dad came to the door. You leaving before the group photo? Yeah. Emma too. Especially Emma. I closed the trunk. For the first time, no one came out to see us off. On the road, Emma asked, are you mad at them? No. Then why are we leaving? Because I'm finally paying attention. 2 days later, I opened the site's rental site. Canceled my reservation for next summer. I logged into Chase. Deleted my mom as an additional user. Turned off the family plan at Verizon. Moved Emma's number to a separate account. Dad texted, everything okay? I read it. I didn't respond. A week later, a request came into Venmo. Split for shirts plus medals plus food equals $184.75. I hit decline. No calls. No emails. No I'm sorry. Just silence. I didn't go back to my parents' house. Not for lunch, not for the weekend, not for a couple days while David needs a break. Emma printed out a photo from camp, cut it out, pasted it on the wall. In this picture it's her with 2 friends. Laughing. I look happy here, she said. You are, I replied. I didn't bring up family days again. I didn't explain. I didn't make excuses. I just wasn't there. And no one asked questions. When the HOA newsletter came, I didn't even open it. There was nothing else about me in there. No scene. No fight. I just walked out. And the door behind me didn't slam. Stayed ajar. But I didn't have to go back. 2 weeks later I got a letter from my mom. An envelope. Watermarked paper. Neat handwriting as always. Subject. Let's talk. The text was short. Clara, I think you overreacted. We've always included you in everything. You're part of this family. But this wall you're building hurts us all. Not a word about Emma. No, I'm sorry. Not a fact. I didn't respond. I just scanned the letter. I saved it. Put it in a folder next to receipts, statements, checks. All in one. Family admin. A day later David called. I heard about the Chase card. That's a little extreme, don't you think? I don't. You could have just told us. I did. For years. He didn't say a word. You don't have to make a statement, Clara. Just talk to us. This is me talking. I hung up. Then came the Save the Date Family Day 2026. I deleted the email. Mrs. Rose, the neighbor, invited Emma and me over for Saturday night dinner. Quiet backyard. Wine. Barbecue. No talk of jerseys. No teams. Just names. Emma talked to Rose's son about the school trip. Laughing. I listened. And for the first time in a long time just being. Not an organizer. Not a sponsor. Not the one holding everything together. In May my mom wrote again. We are still a family. Please don't cut us off. If you don't forgive, what's left? I wasn't angry. I didn't feel betrayed. I just knew no further. Over the summer I contacted the HOA. I took the family off the general contact list. Now the letters came only to me. No copy for my parents. No CC for David. In August I signed up for a new living trust. No family guarantors. No default guardians. Just my name. And Emma's name. No one called on my birthday. No cards. No just checking in. And there was a strange relief in that. Because it was clear that everything that was holding on to me. We went to Arizona for the weekend. Small house. No cell service. Just the 2 of us. Emma asked, will they ever call again? I replied, if they do we'll decide then. I didn't feel obligated anymore. Not needed. Not lost. Just free. I didn't close the door. I just walked out. And no one followed. I closed the shared Dropbox. The one where all the family holiday photos had been stored for years. Now it was just names. Folders with no files. Signed by me. My mom added me to the Family Recipes weekly newsletter. I signed out. David forwarded the Cold Daughters meme to the general chat room. Smiley faces. The caption true though. I didn't reply. No one was surprised. Christmas came with a big box from Amazon. And signed. Inside was a set of kitchen towels. White. No monogram. I gave them to the shelter. Emma and I switched cars in the spring. New insurance. New delivery address. New route. When the agent asked, add any other relatives? I said, no. Just us. At the post office, they gave me an old letter forwarded from my parents' address. Mom's handwriting. Signed, please forward to Clara only. I thanked her. And I deleted the address from all the services. Everything that used to feel like an obligation became irrelevant. Like an old program that hadn't been opened in years. I wasn't looking for drama. I didn't want loneliness. I was just tired of being a linchpin in a system where no one asked if I was comfortable. When Emma and I signed up for the volunteer circle, she asked, will they know I'm not part of a big family? You're part of mine. She nodded. She didn't ask again. I updated the beneficiaries on the insurance. I took out parents equal share. I left one line. Emma 100%. At the DMV, I filed a new ID labeled Emergency Contact. Self. When the lawyer asked, Any extended family to notify? No. He checked the box. Without further ado, in the kitchen I put up a new clipboard. It's all about us. No other people's reminders. No Daddy's birthday or call Aunt Martha. For Thanksgiving we just ordered food. No recipes, no fuss. Emma said. I like it this way. Me too, I replied. One day I reread everything they'd written over the past year. And I realized they weren't angry. They just didn't see me. They saw a role. A convenience. An option. Now they don't see me at all. And therein lies the honesty. I no longer felt obligated. I wasn't afraid of looking harsh. I just didn't answer anymore. Not to letters. Or the hints. Not to the "you're welcome to come." And no one came. And that, at last, was really fair. Emma drew a watercolor, a house with 2 windows, a garden, a dog, me in a chair. That's us, she said. Where's everyone else? I asked. They're in another town. I hung the drawing on the refrigerator. The old one had lists hanging there. At the store I met a mom I knew from school. Haven't seen you around the big family picnic lately. We took a different route this year. She nodded. And didn't ask again. I didn't make any announcements. Didn't write goodbye letters. I just didn't show up the next year. And the one after that. They went on. Without me. Without Emma. No questions asked. When the notary's notice came that the power of attorney given to my parents was expiring, I didn't renew. Now it's just my signature. The system wasn't holding up anymore. Not because I ruined it. It was because I got out. No hysterics. No words. No now you'll find out. Just gone. Where I was there's silence. Not emptiness. Silence. Saturdays were now Saturdays without schedules. No chatting about who's bringing what. No who's responsible for the dishes. Emma and I ate pancakes, walked in the park, read comic books. Every weekend used to be about them. Now it's about us. I no longer lived in a what's best for everyone else mode. I didn't fill out other people's spreadsheets. I didn't pay for other people's formats. I didn't answer, sure I can do that. When the bank suggested adding a trustee, I left the field blank. And that was enough. I deleted old photos. Not out of spite. Just because I didn't need them. On my phone I have 2 contacts in my favorites. Emma and the UPS guy. One day I opened an old notebook. It said, family is the most important thing. I wrote, but not just any family. And I closed it. They were still coming together. I'd seen pictures through people I knew. Same tents. Same colors. Only without me. Sometimes someone would ask, don't you go there anymore? I'd just say, no, it's not my place. And for the first time in years it didn't sound like an excuse. It sounded like the truth. Now I knew. Sometimes the right answer is just to walk away. No sign. No explanation. And never come back.